We are live. We are Allen Squared today. I'm happy to be back with Dr. Alan Chen. Where the fuck in the world are you at today, dude?
In Europe. It's a nice summer. Sometimes the Dallas Fort Worth area gets some massively hot weather, and this is actually like everybody's sweating out here, but I'm doing just fine. It's like 85. So yeah, I like European summers a lot.
Really? I've only been to Europe when I was in the military forever ago, and it really wasn't like vacation. So, I didn't know it was like that.
I didn't know you're in the military.
So long ago. It's like more than half my life ago. When I enlisted when I was 17, went to MECEPS, and then 21 done. You know, just by the time I was 21 done. Left. Well, I don't talk about this much, but I had WPW. You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
Wolf Parkinson's White syndrome. It's a little extra piece of tissue on my heart. Well, right when I was getting ready to be like out of like, because I was in what's called a Marine Corps Enlistment Commissioning Program. I was in MECEPS basically, and when I got out, they designated my heart condition as one that was not valid. So I got a free education out of it. Not only did I get a free education out of it, but also I didn't like being in the military that much. It's not great for somebody with ADHD, if you ask me.
Sure. What branch?
Because like the Marine Corps.
Okay,
dude,
another Marine. Okay,
dude. Nice. But I don't ever talk about it. I don't even take veterans discounts because I was only in 4 years. It was fucking forever ago. So.
Oh yeah, I was in the Army for 2 years.
Yeah, and I was, and it's weird how almost everybody you meet that was in the military, like when you meet guys like us, like influencers that were in the military, they were all snipers and shit like that. I stood watch a lot. Like I was fucking nobody. You know, like I was literally a nobody. So
yeah, I mean, I did med corps and I was just like sitting there doing nothing. So yeah.
Right. Yep. So for those of you that don't know, his name's Dr. Alan Chen. Friend of mine. He is a doctor. Tell everybody like what you do, everything like that. A real one, yeah.
Yes, a medical doctor, not a doctor in gender studies. But yeah, I'm a pediatric radiologist, so curate medical imaging for kids. But I have my own YouTube channel, Your Health Unplugged. Talked about similar things, but kind of in more of the kind of a broader aspect, kind of getting away from the science, but just kind of thinking about just general life concepts as a whole, and how to sort of think about not just healthcare, but the world a little differently. Because sometimes we get too far into the weeds of like data and and also propaganda that we tend to not look at the big picture a whole lot. And so part of the topics is fat acceptance, yes, but also lately I've been talking about like health insurance is a big one. And then just if people
knew how big of a racket healthcare insurance was, they would be in the fucking streets, dude.
Yeah, it's so, I mean, and it's getting more expensive each day, and we spend I think I read a statistic. The average American, I think, spends a quarter of their earnings on healthcare. I was like, damn, that's high. Like, geez, like.
Well, this year, 2025, the prediction, and I know all these stats, but this year we're predicted to spend $5.3 trillion in shared healthcare.
Yeah, that too. So not even including health insurance. Yeah.
Yeah, but total healthcare expenditure, $5.3 trillion. Like that's out of pocket, insurance, taxes, everything, right? And it's the way insurance works is that's spread around. Like people like me and you pay higher premiums than we should for our health level because other people were fat asses and refused to stop putting shit in their mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, that's dude. You were like how you were talking a couple seconds ago. Sometimes people get it's like the pendulum swing. It's either like every little bit of data, like don't fall asleep before 9 p.m. Make sure you haven't eaten 22 grams of carbohydrates 4 hours before. Like the stupid shit, right? Like, and then there's the propaganda of I'm perfectly fine being 400 pounds. You don't know shit. Like, I mean, it's so wild, right? How it swings when in fact, and then stuck in the middle, unfortunately, is facts and biology. Like, because the fact is, I don't give a shit what condition you have, what medication you're on, what genetics you have. If you're morbidly obese, you did that. People do not want to accept that in our society. I think that's where what we're about to talk about, because we're about to talk about how Lizzo told all non-fat folks to mind their business.
Oh, that's not be fun.
Yeah. So I tell you what, let's get that up. We'll talk about that real quick. Then we can talk. Then we can. I got time. We can talk about whatever the fuck you want. So give me 1 second.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Just so everybody knows, Alan has not seen.
I've not seen this at all. I just heard about this.
I wasn't going to speak on this, but
okay.
She got skinny. Or she got skinnier.
Well, she's probably. Oh no, shit! And it's just straight up to Lizzo. She probably lost 100 pounds. Good for you. Okay. I mean, because she was pushing super maximum density, but
lost a little bit of that makeup too. Yeah, she wore a lot of makeup before.
Yeah. So she does look a lot better. She's still morbidly obese. Just for those of you that are wondering,
she's still there, but
Lizzo's still morbidly obese.
She's on the right path, I guess.
By waist to height ratio, she might just be overweight though, because she does actually and that's what I prefer, waist to height ratio. It's a much more accurate predictor of longevity, that sort of thing. So I promise everybody, I'm just going to let this woman say every single word through, and then Alan and I can discuss. I'm not going to interrupt every 2 seconds. I promise you, motherfuckers. I might bleed from the eyes and ears, but I'm going to shut the fuck up for 40 seconds or whatever I need to shut up for.
All right, let's see. Let's see.
I might have to leave. Might have to leave the room, but here we go.
There you go.
I said I wasn't going to speak on this, but as someone who really cares about people and the way this world is going, I have to say something. If you are in a thin presenting body or in a body that people would consider small, it is not your place to criticize or shame people in bigger bodies. It's not your place to criticize how they choose to live in that body, how they choose to change that body. And it's not your place to criticize how they share that experience on the internet or with anyone, especially if you are in a bigger body and you are now in a smaller presenting body. It really feels inappropriate for you to speak on somebody whose body is changing, because you, of all people, should understand that bodies change. And I just want to be very clear, this video has nothing to do with me and my feelings of what anyone has said or done towards me. At this point in my life, I'm pretty impervious to what anyone can say about me on the internet, especially people who don't know me. So it's I know who I am, I know my heart, and I know how I take accountability and show up for myself in my life, and I'm good with that. This is for the people who don't have the relationship that I have with the internet and with backlash and with discourse, and they are getting their feelings hurt and they're getting piled on and they're feeling shamed. People forget that the body positive movement was about radical self-acceptance, and it wasn't just about people in bigger bodies. It was about people in disabled bodies, queer bodies, Black and brown bodies. When body positivity got commercialized and gentrified, it just became synonymous with the word fat. And because of that, anybody who was in a bigger body was called body positive. But that's just simply not true. Just because you're a woman doesn't mean you're a part of the feminist movement. You dig what I'm saying? So now if a person in a bigger body decides to change their body and get smaller, all of a sudden they're not body positive anymore. You're gonna make them feel bad for that? You're gonna shame them for that? We as a society need to stop acting like we better than the person next to us. Because you're not better than the person next to you. You're not. This revolutionary energy that we have right now is incredible. This, you need to be held accountable energy we have is incredible. But guess what? We're wasting it on the wrong people. And it's really exhausting to watch every single fucking day. Anyway, I say all of that to say to all of my bigger body people, do what you want to do with your body. Don't let nobody bully you. Don't let nobody try to shame you. Don't let nobody try to cancel you for living in your body, because it's your body. Can't nobody guilt me for what I do in my body. That is why I am who I am today. Not because I was fat, not because I was small, not because I was short, not because I was tall. It's because I'm me. And I can stand on that. And you should stand on that too. Don't live for nobody else. Live for you. And for the people who try to shame those people, mind your business, live your life. If you want to be an activist and you want to help people, continue to help people. But you do not have to shame someone else to help another. Period. Have a great day.
I'll let you go first.
Okay. Anyway, this is something that's common not just with fat acceptance, but also with other movements out there. But the fact that they have to like use 6 words to just describe one thing, so like fat person, for example, or thin person, it's like smaller presenting body or something, whatever the hell she used. Like, why do you have to go through all these extra syllables just to get to the fucking point? They do that all the time, and yeah, you know, when my healthcare costs a lot more because we have so many people, so many of these folks who have extra chronic illnesses that are coming to the hospital way more frequently than me. When my airplanes, when there's fat rolls rolling next to me on the airplane seat or on a train seat, like yeah, it's gonna yes, I have a problem with that. Like that's where the line is drawn in terms of like, yeah, now I have to say something about this. Like it's, and then to the fact that there's all this kind of ignoring of just the fact that obesity is not healthy, like that we're just trying to make it trying to shame us, actually kind of reverse shaming us and be like, oh, you shouldn't have to shame others for shaming. It's just like, it's like reverse shaming. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like trying to make us feel bad for making them feel bad, trying to kind of do the pull the reverse Uno card on us. I'm like, no, I mean, there's a lot of implications as to like what your lifestyle is doing to other people. There's that we can go through thousands of examples on that, but yeah, I mean, and also it's free speech. Like I can say what I want. Well, at least for now, too. So yeah.
So I agree 100%. Obviously, just a few things that she talked about. First of all, and I mean this, and anybody, I will have this logic argument with anybody, right? As long as we have shared healthcare burden, everybody's health is everybody's business, especially after what we went through in 2020. Because literally, we had so many sickly people in 2020 that everybody was like, oh shit, we have a lot of sickly people and there's new cold. So history presents us with the like ridiculousness that you guys know you're unhealthy. Like most of the population knows they're unhealthy and just try to feel better about it. To say it's nobody's business, I got to be real. Not only is it everybody's business, every single person should be encouraging every fat person they know to lose weight every single day. That's actually the kind thing. I know that doesn't sound kind, but that's actually the kind thing. Everything she listed off there, applauding them, leaving them alone, all that shit, that is actually kind of cruel. We are like, when you have a morbidly obese person, and I'm making this argument more and more, and this used to apply to me too, like just so everybody understands, I was very morbidly obese myself, right? You are not of right mind. You are mentally ill, frankly. And I will state that, like, the overconsumption, and it can be varying forms of mental illness, I don't care, but the overconsumption that leads to obesity, the compulsive, disregarded overconsumption that leads to obesity that happens systemically after consistent overconsumption, when you bit by bit lose quality of life, access to things, those sorts of things, to continue to do those self-harming behaviors, because it's obviously harming you. You're getting to the point where you're losing mobility, you're getting chronic illnesses, and you are not taking the proper steps to take care of yourself. You are harming yourself every single day. Self-harm, daily self-harm, is mental illness. It is not only is it mental illness, I would argue that it is active mental illness. And I don't give a fuck if the DSM-5 says it or not. The DSM-5 was written by people that want you fat, sick, weak, and dependent, right? So we know people hurt themselves every day. Like, it's like they want Lizzo and people like her, they want to ignore the basic fact that you're fat from your actions. Like, there's not, I actually asked Grok this morning. I'm doing this thing where I'm testing all of the AIs against each other for logic, right?
Yeah.
Like, I use one called DeepSeek too. DeepSeek refuses.
A China one.
This is no shit, but it's a China one that they let Americans use. They refuse to admit that obesity is that obesity is bad for you. It refuses.
Really?
Like, it argues its way around it at almost every opportunity. It's wild.
That's why I don't use it.
I use it for I use it to get a different idea, especially if I'm I have multiple projects that aren't necessarily like healthcare working, so I use it a lot for that. But
I'll say this: I remember this distinctly now. Medical school, when they taught us clinical skills, and we were on the subject of being like, they use the word empathy a lot, like they overuse it to the point where you want to get sick.
Yeah.
So in the case of fat patients and getting them to lose weight, like, I don't know, like it was weird because I remember doing rotations afterwards, after sort of that second year of med school, where I was like almost like allergic to saying the word fat to a fat patient. It was really strange. It was almost like it was programmed in my head. Like I had to like dance around the word and I'm using this kind of language. So I'm like, this is not something that's like, totally out of nowhere. And you have to like, and it takes time to do this, to have the circumferential thinking rather than just getting to the point. But it's all about in the form of feelings. Like we that's a lot of what they were teaching, which in certain situations, yes, it's helpful to use it depending on what, and we're not getting to the point, and then we're out of time, next patient, then it goes untouched and we don't go through the subject at all. So I mean, I remember that distinctly. It was really strange to me. I mean, right now I don't see I don't do primary care anymore, but like it's I guess I can't really do it in this era because I would be out of a job right by now. But like it's just or I would have like the worst Yelp reviews ever. But like it's just it's unfortunately now like deep seated in the system where this kind of thinking.
Yeah, and going back to what Lizzo said, by the way, it's not your place. I'm going to tell you this right now, just straight to Lizzo or anybody like that. Your place is not to tell me what my place is. Your place is to let me do whatever fuck I want and deal with the goddamn consequences. Just like my place is for you to do whatever fuck you want, and I'll deal with the consequences too. But if me encouraging fat people to lose weight is some kind of shaming, you are mentally ill. I'm sorry. I know I'm not always the nicest person, and I do put things in comedically sometimes or harsh tone sometimes. And my true meaning to you is it's not harsh enough. Like, to everybody out there, I'm not harsh enough. I'm really not. Like, we need to help you. At one point in time, she said, you're not better than anybody else. Bullshit. I am vastly better than the 300-pound version of me. Vastly. Morally, emotionally, mentally, physically, intellectually, I am vastly better than that fat motherfucker that I killed years ago. Like, I mean, I fucking curb stomped the fuck out of that motherfucker. But I am vastly better than him. And frankly, I'm better than any dude that doesn't go to the gym on a regular basis. I'm better than any dude that has a beer belly. I am better than any dude, like better, 100% better, because they are purposeful drags on society. They by their own actions are dragging society and themselves. It's unhealthy for them, their family, the country, the environment, and themselves. It's unhealthy all the way fucking around. So to try to imply that people who take proper care for their health and their longevity, and they look after their own personal health as a personal responsibility, are not better than people that glutton themselves is an objective lie on many stances in society. There are people that are better than you, and almost 100% of the time, the reason why they're better than you is that they fucking try harder. It's almost 100%. Like, here's the thing, man. Like, I have a really high IQ, but I'm obviously crazy. I obviously have like rampant ADHD, right? Like, I'm obviously insane. So, like, I know my weaknesses. I don't try to deny this. Like, I get it why I'm not asked on a whole bunch of podcasts and shit like that, because I am a very, 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 like, loose cannon. Like they're worried about what I'm going to fucking say. I get that, right? I understand. But I would argue that if they were really into trying to get people's information out, it would be people like me that they would have on. But that doesn't mean that it's not like reality. Like, it's the reality is we need to start making sure that these people realize, yes, people are better than you, and it's because they try harder than you. And you could be better than you if you tried harder than you do. But nobody wants to admit that it's their fault. That I think that's the biggest crux. And both But the media and the healthcare institutions decided this before the doctors and shit like that. Like they just like the whole what was it? It was like 10 years ago. It was probably before you became a doctor, or you were just starting to become a doctor, maybe, or something like that. But 10 years ago,
I'm old, man. 10 years ago, I was a resident. Yeah, I was a resident.
Yeah. 10 years ago, that's when they changed to, they all started taking surveys of the patients, right? Yes. Like, so your bedside manner worked into compensation and shit like that, which is fucking insanity, because these, like, it's the same thing as, like, if you were, like, it's, I don't believe in, like, the satisfaction scores for managers either. You pay a manager to tell people to do shit that they don't want to do faster than they want to fucking do it. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, that's not going to be a popular person, you know? And if you need to rob, like, I personally, when I worked in healthcare, dude, I wasn't not a rah-rah person. If you didn't have your shit done, I fired you. You know what I mean? Like, if you didn't have your shit done, I fired you. There was no semantics, no anything like that. I wasn't like, hey guys, let's get this done. Like, where's my fucking reports? I'm busy. I pay you good money to fucking take care of this. Right? I couldn't have given a shit less about how they worked. If they wouldn't function for me, I'd find new fucking people, right? Now, I was fair and I paid well and everything like that, but I had a zero tolerance on their opinions being like, I think you could have handled this differently. Like, I don't give a fuck what you think I could have handled. But the same thing for doctors and stuff like that. As soon as we started taking surveys, doctors' language changed immensely, because the parameters they set up for you guys was you can't upset them at all. And I mean, it's literally many doctors in many healthcare groups
feelings.
It's all feelings. It's all based on, like, don't ask them the way. Like, if you're not going to ask your patient the way, why are you billing this to insurance? Like, if you're not going to take a basic health metric on them, how dare you bill this to insurance? Like, you're just wasting our money at this point, right?
Yeah. I mean, that was. I hope they don't still do that. Do they? I don't. I'm not involved in that, but like
the surveys, big time. They still do the surveys. Yeah. Many healthcare groups, you know.
Okay. Yeah. Some, the big ones do. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then I guess you got the patient advocate thing as well. That's for some people. But anyway, well, I think it also stems from, or at least leads to the legal side of healthcare, and, you know, doctors getting sued and whatnot for various things. There's plenty of data saying that if you have a bad impression of your doctor, you're more likely to get sued. You know, and that's again, like, that's where we run into trouble too. Is like, take that customer satisfaction shit off the table for a second. Let's just even focus on just the fact that, you know, we get sued for some of the stupidest things sometimes. And if this patient just happens to be that extra vindictive for whatever reason, because you said you called her fat or something like that, you know, that could, a lawyer who's looking for an extra buck out there, was willing to take the case, will take it and fuck the doctor over in some way. And, you know, our premiums for freaking malpractice insurance are like through the roof too. I haven't even talked about that. It's a big cost for us, for sure.
So let's talk about that. So, because the malpractice thing always kind of makes me kind of wild, right? Because first of all, on one side, I know many people, just like what you're saying, where it is completely like the doctor spoke harshly to me and damaged my mental health, and now I'm suing. Like, shut the fuck up. You know,
it's not like that though. Like, it's more like they have this bad impression, but then something small happens, like they misinterpreted an ECG, or like something like not like it didn't, at the end of the day, it didn't make a difference, but it was some sort of an error, if you will. Even the smallest ones that at the end of the day don't really make a difference, but they're still an error. You know, they would be more likely to go after the smallest things if they had a poor impression of the doctor.
Sorry, I muted myself. So sorry about that. But you know, the thing about it is, like, there's less likely that that the lawyers are going to take like really, really fight for the large ones. Okay. So like say there's a possibility that something you did killed somebody's mom, right? Possibility. The lawyers are they're going to try to get a settlement out of the hospital quick because there's a strong chance that since it's a wrongful death, the hospital and the medical group is just going to come at it with every lawyer they fucking got and tie it up and everything like that. Like you know, if the person doesn't take the settlement, they basically will keep the person tied up in court for decades, right? But if you read an EKG wrong, the person can say that they were stressed and shit like that. A lawyer can take that and go and run with it because the medical groups are not going to expend a massive amount of money trying to fight that motherfucker.
Right.
You know, I mean, and that's fucking true. You know, it's wild how that happens. So malpractice suits 9 times out of 10 are way overinflated for minor things and way underinflated for serious things. You know.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of
dude has no idea what the fuck he's saying. Which one of us are you talking about? Because frankly, he's a fucking doctor and I'm a healthcare expert. So like, which one of us, Juan, does not know what we're saying? That's wild.
Anyway, going back though, like, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, this is a greater product of the litigious society that we live in. There's a stat, I think, of all the world's lawsuits, 90% of them are in the U.S. That makes sense. You know, it's just that we just love to sue each other. That's what we do, essentially.
It's a very weird thing. I mean, and they're going to start trying to sue people for calling people fat. You watch. I'm waiting for that one. I'm waiting for somebody. I'm
wondering if that actually already happened. To be honest with you, we'll have to take a gander at that one. Some states. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. Oh no, it wouldn't surprise me at all whatsoever.
Yeah, or at least maybe it was said the wrong way.
So some of the other stuff that I just wanted to point out, like, here's my thing. Like, Lizzo's telling everybody what to do. Who the fuck are you? I mean, this woman is accused. This woman has admitted that she would love to eat like the shit that she's admitted that she made her fucking staff do should make sure that people don't want to fucking have anything to do with her. She's an objectively horrible person. Which, by the way, I will add that this bitch fucking blocked me because I told her true shit, and then literally followed every goddamn piece of advice I had given her in a year, like to the letter, to lose weight. So I mean, like literally, like
is she on?
She was on. She said she was on Ozempic. Tried it, didn't like it. Doesn't mean she's not on it because she's a fucking liar, just straight up.
Yeah, probably.
But she also had like one of the biggest pieces of advice I gave her. You're not going to be able to lose weight and be vegan. I was like, you're eating a bunch of fucking processed shit. So, and I openly said it, like, and all of a sudden she's not vegan. And she was like, I was eating, because I was like, you're eating way more calories than you think you are because you're eating all the processed shit. You need to fucking quit that shit. And she admits it. Like, she admits it. She was like, for being vegan, I was just eating a ton of processed stuff and it was keeping me hungry. Like, it's all the shit I was saying. Like, it's all reality, you know, like there's no medical conditions. There's not even a combination of medical conditions that could stop you if you are unless you have some sort of, like, if you have Willer-Pratty syndrome. Willer-Pratty is something where the person is consistent. Yeah, Prader-Willi. Excuse me. The person is always hungry. Like, there's no off switch to their hunger at all. Mm-hmm. But that one normally comes with like a certain amount of mental retardation that would require full-time supervision anyway.
Like 0.05 of the population, maybe, like.
Yeah, and it's super small, super. Cushing's is like, if you have Cushing's disease, don't gain weight. The last thing you want to do if you have Cushing's is gain fucking weight. Like, here's what I don't get too. Like, she's talking about this shit as if like it's nobody's business. All these people, including her, likely had very serious or developing chronic illnesses, right? That are all, that's 90% of our $5.3 trillion burden we were talking about. 90% of that. Like, so I have a project that I'm doing, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but I have a project that I'm doing where it's like, if everybody woke up one day in America and just because they knew it was the right thing to do for themselves, their family, their friends, the country, the environment, if everybody started completely avoiding processed foods, getting an ounce of fluid per ideal pound of body weight, getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night, getting out in the sun, taking 4,000 IUs of vitamin D, taking 1,500 milligrams of vitamin C, taking 10,800 FUs of nattokinase, daily exercise, daily exercise, good daily sleep, and like good relations, right? And the projections on what it would do in 5 years, 20 years, 50 years is fucking silly, right?
It's bad.
Like,
yeah.
Just so everybody knows, and just to point out one thing here. If you look at all the data, like most things that we're being vaccinated for are things that if you are healthy, like if you are of a healthy weight, healthy body fat, eat good food, keep your inflammation levels down low, there's almost nothing that we are vaccinated for that you would not survive and build robust natural immunity to. And pass that robust natural immunity down onto generation after generation after generation, right? Like there's very few. Like measles, if you're healthy, is not a thing. I mean, it's not a problem.
It wasn't a thing. Yeah, they were trying to make it a thing, but it wasn't. Yeah.
Right. Even SARS-CoV-1. SARS-CoV-1 has a 10% fucking infection fatality rate. The reason why it's not worried about that much is because it has a very short incubation period time, and the effects from it, like the symptoms of it, are severe and come on very quickly. So the very second you become symptomatic for it, to stay in, and people are normally too sick to leave their house anyway if they get SARS-1. And if you're healthy, such as myself and Alan, the infection fatality rate is down to the flu. But it's nothing, right? The flu normally has an infection fatality rate of somewhere between 0.1 and 0.25, depending on the seasonal flu. On seasonal flu, somewhere in there. Actually, 0.05 to 0.25 is because I believe the 2018 flu season had like an infection fatality rate of 0.25 or something like that.
That was one of the worst ones, I think, right?
Right. Yeah. 2000. Yeah. 2008.
Before COVID happened. Yeah.
Yeah, that one, by the way, and 0.25, which was the seasonal flu of 17-18, hospitalized more people than COVID in a 4-month period of time. By the way, and it's these are statistics. I'm not bullshitting. In a 4-month period of time, it hospitalized more people than COVID. And if they would have counted the deaths from from that flu outbreak the same way they counted COVID, it would have been like 2 million people.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that distinctly because I did fellowship at that time in a children's hospital. Yeah. It was bad on the kids too. Oof.
Yeah, it was bad and that's another one. It was bad on the kids or like that. Most coronaviruses for young kids are not a fucking thing. They're not even a fucking worry. Like, but that's the thing. Like, if we would just all be healthy and fight off these illnesses in a natural way and develop robust natural immunity after several generations of that healthy living, and that like. There's no pandemics. Like, I mean, like we are a robust, unless it's new, and chances are if it's new, unless it's a new type of virus, and this is another thing people understand too, unless it's a completely new type of virus, there is going to be something called T-cell immunity. So for instance, most people for COVID, I think it was predicted like 40% of the people for COVID had already had natural immunity, like 40%, because they already had been exposed to a genetically similar virus previously and had what's called T-cell immunity. It's like it's antibody plus, basically, right? And I know for you, I'm probably being way layman term, but that's for the audience. That's where it's at. But T-cell immunity is like a form of natural immunity that is broad spectrum, meaning like if you've had a virus similar to it, you're okay. And and COVID has 80% genetic material similar to a regular coronavirus, and everybody's had coronaviruses, right? So if we would just be healthy, watch what we eat, keep our inflammation down, grow food instead of lawns, like we could transform America in 50 years to like a fucking utopia of almost no chronic illness, no illness, and all like that. Not even that, but like within 5 years, if everybody all of a sudden gives up processed foods, walks every day, shit like that, within 5 years, chronic illness is gone. Like chronic illness will become like fucking 5 to 10% of the expenditure versus 90% of the expenditure. And that lowers the expenditure, which you would think for a country that's trillions of dollars in debt, this would be important. But we could lower our shared healthcare burden by like $3 trillion a fucking year.
There will be a lot of people out of a job, a lot of administrators, which, by the way, I also read somewhere that there's plenty of job offers or job openings for nurses, doctors, and other clinicians, but there are barely any for healthcare administrators.
Yeah.
So yeah, if that happened, we would need a lot less healthcare administrators. That's for sure.
Well, we don't need nearly. I'm speaking as a former healthcare administrator. Like, I mean, because we have way too many. Because here's the thing: when we like, when a lot of people think of administrator, they think of the guy running the skilled nursing or like that. That's not what they mean. That's a necessary job. That person has a license that's hung on the wall that makes that building legal anyway, right?
Right.
But I'm talking like there's like 25 levels of administration that all are premium salaried, premium packages, premium premium bonuses, everything like that, right? Like a good probably 40 to 50% of all healthcare expenditures is in administration, which is simply wild. Like think about just the department in almost every hospital has a department just for CMS, just for Medicaid billing, right? Like it is that office is just so you know, at most skilled nursings or continued care retirement communities, that office holds more people normally than the janitorial department.
That's crazy. Like they do a lot of work too. Like it's a lot of coding. Yeah. I don't envy them at all. Holy shit! Like
it's like a whole other language. Yeah, and it's constantly changing. Like it's updated all the time. They're constantly going to seminars and everything like that. And that's administrative costs. Like so, them going to seminars and everything like that. That's all administrative. Like the healthcare industry is broken on purpose. Like it's absolutely like the way it's set up, because it's set up to just siphon money out of sick people. Like if our government really cared about us, they'd be trying to make healthcare as inexpensive as possible. And one of the only ways to do that is to make sure people take personal accountability for their own health. Like I have this big thing, dude. Like for Lizzo. Lizzo says it's none of anybody's business if they're fat. I got a newsflash for you. If you're not going to participate in your healthcare, I don't know why I should have to fucking subsidize it. You know, like, and I think we need to get there because that's what it is. It's subsidization, you know?
Yeah. I think people don't understand that fact though, like in terms of like how other people's health affects us and like, or people that are not, you know, using the insurance system as avidly as they are. It sometimes can be a little bit of a difficult concept to grasp for some people. Because like, I'm not in the room with them, you know, getting their care or anything like that. So it's not a time cost for me, but yeah, it's how the insurance industry works. It's kind of can be convoluted for some people, which it's supposed to be convoluted, like you said.
Right. They purposely make it something that it can't possibly be. Like the system, it's the same thing as the tax system. The system is so fucking complicated. So fucking complicated on purpose, right? Like, there's no reason that, like, we should, by the way, in my opinion, we should not even be taxed. Like, the government should not be fucking stealing money from us. They're our employees, like, at all. Like, if they have to take our money, we should hire new people that don't need to take our money, but can still run the government, you know? No. But the tax code, but fucking CMS codes and the codes on skilled nursing hospital and all like that are literally purposely problematic. You know, like they're purposely problematic because if they made it easy, it would be too fucking easy. You know, like people wouldn't need all the extra. They create the need for these things, right?
Right.
So my question to you as a doctor, if you just had a magic wand, what would you change about our healthcare industry? Put you on the spot, motherfucker.
Yeah. You know, honestly, no, it actually wouldn't be in the healthcare industry. It would, you know, back in the good old days, and you know, I didn't live through this, but like 50s, 60s, and 70s, like we were all pretty accountable, self-sufficient, and also thin for the most part.
Yeah.
You know, there's a saying: we get the government that we deserve. Well, we also get the healthcare that we deserve.
Yes.
As a society in general, not speaking individually. You know, it's you know, to fix healthcare, number one, I mean, I guess just break it all down and start again. But to do it successfully, though, the culture in society, the society's culture has to change and go back to more accountability, more just self-sufficiency, and also like not having to rely on other people to you know, keep them alive, so to speak,
right?
And not have to be so dependent on other people, including the government. We just are in we're in a huge void of accountability, a huge void of just kind of community, I guess. Also, like we're all based on self as well, hedonism. the like. It's a big general cultural black hole that we're dealing with right now. And until that gets fixed, I mean, no matter what we do to policy, no matter what we do to, if we break it all down, even if we break it all down and start again, if we still have the same rotten culture, it's all going to come back roaring again, because we don't have anything to, the demand is still there, is what I'm trying to say, because then the supply will end up coming. It's basically reacting to those shifts in general.
Right.
So I mean, that's that's why I say fix the culture first before you fix anything else. Because otherwise, even if we demolish the whole thing and start again, we're going to go back to the same place we are if we stay the same way.
See, I 100% agree with that. That's what I've been saying too. And don't get me wrong, no, I'm good. Can you hear me?
I don't know how you do that.
I accidentally bumped this. And there we go. So, but
no,
I can put no.
Unless I'm ruh-roh.
Doesn't say I'm. I think
for
they
those
can
of
hear
you
me.
that are not familiar with how
test.
the podcast runs, sound is like one of the most toughest things to handle.
Yeah.
It's one of the most annoying.
Okay. They can hear me.
Okay, you guys can hear him. I guess I can't.
What the fuck?
What the hell is going on here? The Matrix is coming after us.
Too funny.
What are we doing here? Let's see here.
Yep.
Fuck?
That's it. That's exactly right, Kimberly. What RFK gets wrong is that he is not
maybe
changing.
Maybe I'll go off. Let's see.
What RFK is getting wrong is he is not trying to change the culture of Americans. And culture of Americans is the actual issue, right? Like, we need to hold each other accountable to not burden each other. Like, I should be able to thoroughly expect from other citizens of the United States for them not to do something that is going to cost me more money for their own personal benefit or whatever, if somebody else does something that is going to negatively impact me because it negatively impacts their health and we have shared healthcare expenditure, I should absolutely be able to fucking say something about it. And I shouldn't have to participate. One more time. If they are not going to participate in their own healthcare, why should I have to subsidize it? I don't understand it. So, can you hear me now, brother?
I'm good now.
Okay. So what I was saying is that I absolutely agree with you that like the culture needs to change. That's what RFK is getting wrong. Like, RFK is trying to litigate something that needs to happen culturally, and that's why it's not going to work. Right now, they're just trying to move the money around and change who the winners are. They're basically trying to change the winners to wearable, to the wearable things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The winners need to be Americans. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's doing it in malice. I'm just saying that they are too afraid to tell the American people to stop fucking gluttoning themselves because they're all elected officials, right? And the vast majority of people in America are fat. Like, if you look at waist to height ratio, we're well over 50% obesity and probably 85% metabolically unhealthy overweight. And we're 95% or 92% in the country metabolically unhealthy. That's a staggering number. Like, me and you understand. Me and you understand what that means, but 92% metabolically unhealthy. What that's going to look like 10 years? What that's going to look like 10 years from now is very, 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 very bad if it's not changed. Very bad.
I've already had some insider information from all those like big food companies, Frito-Lay and the like.
Yep.
They're already like getting ahead of the game in terms of what the RFK is going to ban next and trying to work around it. So like that's again why I say we need to fix the culture, because these folks will find a way to get to what they want essentially.
Oh yeah.
What happens? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
They have the resources for it.
Yeah, they will find a way, And the thing is, it's not like, again, people are rooting for like RFK and Trump and everyone like that to do something for them, like they're saviors. Nobody's coming to save you. You need to do the fucking work, right? Like, I personally, I literally, I'm partners in a supplement brand for No Morbidity and Alchemy, and I tell everybody all the time, I take them on a daily basis because I don't like physical hunger, but I still have to do the work. I still have to hydrate. I still have to get proper sleep, exercise, do all that shit. just because I'm not as, I don't have physical hunger. I don't get hungry, but that still doesn't mean I don't need to do the work, right? And I do the work by taking the supplementation, also too. It's part of it. Like, I make sure I maintain my health. Like, RFK can't do that for me. And no wearable, like, the idea of everybody wearing a wearable is fucking asinine. Like, I can almost guarantee this, as somebody that has helped thousands of people lose weight, wearables are good to get a basis, but normally all the data they give a fat person fucks them up. Fucks them up.
Data overload. Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah,
we have way too much of it. Too much noise.
Yeah. So the other topic, the last little topic I thought we would talk about real quick is the one you wanted to talk about that earlier. And I just, for those of you that are going to get turned off by us talking a little bit politics and shit like that, just understand, I don't care. But so we're not going to get the Epstein list.
Probably not. My fake magic 8-ball says don't count on it.
I would also agree. And if we get it, there's no way I'm trusting it. At this point, there's absolutely no way.
Black highlighting and all this other stuff. Yeah, a lot of redactions. Yeah.
Like we're at the stage now where it's time for the American people to get rid of the security clearance of the United States government. Like, we need to make it so they're not allowed to keep any secrets from us. I don't understand how we got to the point where they're allowed. Like, they're our fucking employees. Hey, imagine this, man. You go into work and you do a whole bunch of shit that's going to cost the hospital a whole fucking bunch of money, and then you tell them that you need more money for it and to shut the fuck up. What's going to happen to you?
I mean, it's gonna. Yeah, I mean, there should be mutiny at that point. Yeah, I mean,
right.
But it's the government. It's a whole different animal that regard. And we've gotten to the point where they've, we give them an inch and they've taken a mile, and coronavirus was definitely a big example of that. Where, I mean, that's actually probably the tip of the iceberg. We've been doing this for decades now, where things just slip in the bills every now and then, and some people get paid under the table, and lobbyists. The like, they're all over the place. I mean, like your book says, it was never about your health. Yeah, it was about lining interests in their pockets.
Oh yeah.
So it's that's where we're at right now. And then for a lot of people, it's very unfortunate. It's going to be hard to solve, because we are now put in a state where, I mean, most people are having are living paycheck to paycheck and then some, because how expensive everything is too. So that makes it even harder for a lot of people.
Yeah, you brought up my book. And by the way, go to Amazon. You can either get Hunger Free and Happy, or you can get he's got a copy of my motherfucking book. That's awesome. But get Hunger Free and Happy, or It Was Never About Your Health, the COVID Pandemic. I would appreciate it. You can get it on ebook, and you can get. By the way, you can get It Was Never About Your Health, the COVID Pandemic on ebook on Nook, Amazon, Apple, Barnes and Nobles, anywhere. Anywhere you want it. But it's weird to me, like, what that book's done, because I get hate mail DMs from that book, by the way. And I mean, I'm very used to getting hate mail, but where people are like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, bitch, you realize there's 200 source citations in that fucking book. You know what I mean? It's not an unthought of book. The research is valid, right? And nobody, they can just say that to me. Nobody can actually argue the points of It Was Never About Your Health. I could, the same way as you, I'm sure, I could sit with any actual public health official that was telling people to wear masks, do all sorts of shit all the time. I could sit with any of them, and they would not be able to answer 3 layers of why. 3 layers of why. What, you want me to wear a mask? Why? Well, it will help stop COVID transmission. How? They'll start talking about it. And then the third question, the follow-up, if I can smell things through the mask, is it stopping a virus? They're going to say no. It can't stand three stages of question, right? And almost none of it. And they admitted they lied. They've admitted they've lied. Like the 6 foot rule, which by the way, the 6 foot rule and the pretending that there was asymptomatic spread, those two things destroyed the country. Just so everybody understands. Those are the two things, especially the pretending that asymptomatic spread was a fucking thing. That is the thing that destroyed the country. And you were not even allowed to argue about that on social media. They would delete you. But just so everybody gets it, not only is asymptomatic spread never a driver of any pandemic, and the only time asymptomatic spread is of actual worry is when the person is vaccinated, because the vaccine suppresses symptoms, but doesn't stop transmission. They're the only asymptomatic actual carriers. But
funny,
the World Health Organization even admitted it in 2020 that asymptomatic spread is not a thing, and then they walked it back the next day because it was so clear that it was never about your health. Anytime any of them would say anything, like anything would slip through the reality cracks of, oh, well, asymptomatic spread isn't a thing. They would do this march back, walk back so hard. Nope, that like you would see articles. Did the World Health Organization say that asymptomatic spread is a thing? No, it did not. Or no, asymptomatic the World Health Organization didn't mean that asymptomatic spread wasn't a thing. Like they would make sure, like they're not reporting the facts, they're just reporting the propaganda. It was never about our health, and nobody can argue that with me. But yet we have doctors. Like I always think, like whenever I think of you, I don't know why I think of Dr. Mike Wachowski. Do you know who he is?
Yeah, he's got his own. He's got a big podcast, I think, too, like himself. But yeah, I think you know what you're talking about.
Yeah. He's a total COVID freak. Like I mean, he's the one that Jubilee invited on to debate COVID stuff, where it was him against like 30 people, and it was him, doctor, and it was 30 fucking complete idiots, not people like me or you. You know what I mean? Like,
So there's something I learned actually. This is interesting that you mentioned that. When I go back to old videos 5 years ago, and they introduce these folks, whether they're planted or not, talking about studies, and they actually go through studies. I've realized that one of the things that they do is they pick the worst one. The one that's like done the worst.
Oh yeah.
They don't pick the ones that are actually done properly or had lots of had a strong set of data, strong set of data. They pick the one that's like the most fringe of all, and I think that's that's definitely a strategy for them to like make it to appeal to the folks who are more educated. To say like, hey, like this is bullshit. Like okay, because this one paper said so.
Right. That's the thing too. The gut. I talk about this in I have like 2 books I'm writing, but actually 3. But in one of the books I'm writing, I talk about the Rockefeller impact on healthcare, right? And it's like, so when you guys all think of like supplement ingredients as snake oil, most of you don't realize that like supplement ingredients have been around for thousands of years and have just ridiculous amounts of data to them. Like, and there's normally many compounds in nature that perform as well, if not better, than pharmaceuticals. I always talk about berberine versus metformin. Berberine in clinical trials, head-to-head, multiple, repeatable, large-scale clinical trials, works as well as metformin does with less side effects. It therefore is the first thing that if doctors were sticking to their oath, it would be the first line, because it is the most minimal possible risk while performing. That's what it would be, and not any doctor is going to be able to argue that. Like I can show the data, the studies, and they won't be able to argue it. What
I'm pretty sure we never talked that either.
Yeah. Oh no. You got like I most of like 40% of my clientele is doctors, nurses, stuff like that. I had a attending endocrinologist who had never heard the word berberine. I was like, what? I was like, you prescribe people like metformin and shit like that. How do you know what berberine is?
And insulin too. But
she was like, oh, it was never brought up. It was never we were never taught it. Holy shit! That's fucking crazy. Like wildly crazy. Yeah. So back in 1910, I think it was like 1887 or something like that. The AMA formed, like the American Medical Association formed, right?
Right.
And they formed as a way to try to completely allopathic. They wanted to basically push out naturopaths, stuff like that, right? Herbalists, naturopaths, those sorts of things. And then in 1910, Rockefeller invested in all of the medical schools, and they did something called the Flexner Report. The Flexner Report was in 1910, and 1910 or 1920, anyway. But the Flexner Report was used to show that supplements were bad, like naturopath was bad, and allopathic medicine was the only way. And they planned, and they did. America had something like 152 med schools at the time in 1910, and 93 of them closed because they weren't allopathic, right? So it basically took control of the industry. And then Rockefeller and people like him, they basically funded all the research. So they're funding the accrediting institutions, they're funding the schools, and they're funding all the research. They get to make that shit however they want it. And to literally pretend that the medicine or the herbs or whatever that we have used for fucking tens of thousands of years to be healthy, alongside with a healthy lifestyle, are ineffective, is not even supported by science at this stage. Like, again, like if you run the statistics through any type of fucking AI or any type of think engine of how it would transform America if people just took care of their personal health, watched what they ate, and got exercise and proper hydration, how it would destroy the healthcare industry. It would destroy it. Like, you would be out of a job. I mean, we would do shit.
I'd be okay with that.
You'd be okay with it. Yeah. But you get what I'm saying? Like, they know it. It's inarguable. Like, I have a fat doctor calling saying, I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, fucking scoreboard, bitch. I don't get it.
Oh my goodness.
I don't understand. So listen, man, we've been on about an hour. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. You're talking about the British doctor, right? Fat doctor?
All of them. There's so like, when you think about Peter Hotez, if you take medical advice from Peter Hotez, I mean, just so everybody gets it, if you have never seen that motherfucker, he's my age. Just so everybody grasps, like, him and I are the same age. There is no circumstance at all, not even held at gunpoint, I would fucking take that man's medical advice, because I am fucking healthier than him. Like,
oh my god,
way healthier. You know what I mean? Like, it's insane.
It shouldn't be a question. It shouldn't be a question. No, like, geez.
No,
anyway,
at all. But listen, this is Dr. Alan Chen. Where can they find you?
All right, YouTube at Your Health Unplugged. We got some projects coming up, some new types of content for you guys.
Good.
Coming really soon. I've been kind of a little bit hiding under a rock for a little bit just to get some of that stuff going. So I'm looking forward to pushing that out, and possibly doing other collabs with the other Alan here. So I'm looking forward to that. But also documenting more of my travels of what I'm actually doing here. That's going to be a new thing for the channel. I think you guys will like that, because it gives you a nice little new perspective on the way we do things in the U.S. and how things are done differently in other places. I think that'll be cool. So looking forward to putting that out. But yeah, and then you can chat with me, argue with me, fat shame me on X at unplugged_doc. And yeah, I need to be a little bit fat shamed because I mean, I'm having some good food out here. There's some good food out here, I'll tell you what. But we'll see how much weight I gain. Yeah.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, and everybody. I will probably be back a couple times today. I'm probably going to do another live at some point in time, and we'll be back with Dr. Alan at some point in time, probably by next week. So I hope everybody has a great day. My name's Alan Roberts. Goddamn.